Good morning and welcome to Lab 4.5. It's around here somewhere. So let's go to our Google Classroom website. Looks like I just posted it this morning and 0 people have completed it and 29% have not done it. If you look at last week's assignment, 22 people have not done it, and so now they're all going to get marked down on their assignments because they're late. In this lab, you will implement several custom blocks performing variants of sequential search. What does that mean? Well, we're going to look through an entire list to see if it contains a certain value. Write your own version of the snap contains block, which takes a list and a value as an argument and reports true if the value is anywhere in the list and reports false otherwise. Okay, so we want to make a variable. Actually, I'm going to go to make a block, and it's going to be called contains. It's a reporter block, and I want to call 2 arguments. First, I want to call a list. Let's just call it list. And then I want to call value. So it'll be like a number. Okay. So now let's actually make that a list. So my list is going to be a bunch of numbers, 1, 23, 67. It could be any list that you want, -6 and 100. Okay. Here's my list. And I want to check through that list to see if the value that I put into this contains block, see where it says contains, actually let's press apply. So the value that I put into contains, so I'm going to put my list into the list section, which is right there. And let's say I want to see if there's a 23 inside my list. Once I click on it, it should say true. The way to check each item of the list is you have to go through a loop. So within any loop, you need to make a counter. So we say counter. And I want to set that counter to 1. So the first item in the list gets checked first. And now, in order to go through that loop, you want a repeat until. Repeat until. I want to repeat until the counter is equal to the length of the list. So I need to get list length. And I need to get counter. I want to see that counter, and I don't want to stop until counter is greater than the length of the list. And the list is right here, so I have to bring that in. Good. And this is how I repeat. And the way the counter goes up is I want to have a change counter in there. So change counter by 1. So every time I go through the loop, the counter changes 1, 2, 3, 4, and it keeps going until I get to the end, the length of the list. So what do I want to check inside each loop? I want to make an if statement to say, hey, if the item, the value that I put in, is equal to the item in the list, in each place. So I'm going to need equal comparison. And I want to see if this value is equal to each item in the list. So item, let's put that in there. And the list I want to look at is this one. And every time I go through, I don't want to look at the first item. I want to look at whatever the counter is equal to. So let's go get my counter again. And put that right in there. So if the value is equal to the counter item of the list, excuse me. If that is true, I want to report true. I'm going to say true. Put this back in there. And if it goes through the whole list and it's not true, I want to report false at the end. Since it went through everything. Right, press OK. And now let's see. Does it contain 23? Where's my list? Alright, I probably have to. Okay. It's not working. So let's go into it and see what's wrong with it. So I set my counter to 1. I repeat until the counter is greater than the length of the list, which is fine. If the value is equal to the item counter of the list, then I want you to change the counter by 1 and then report true. Oh, I see what's going on here. I don't want to change the counter right there. I want to change the counter if it's not true. Put that right under there. So it'll go through it all. It's okay. And now let's say true. Now let's put a number that's not in there, like 3. And it says false. Okay? That's going to be your first step. So good luck.